At the gallop! Oh!
Fort Laramie. Fort Laramie, starring Raymond Burr as Kaptan Lee Quince. Specially transcribed tales of the dark and tragic ground of the wild frontier. The saga of fighting men who rode the rim of empire. And the dramatic story of Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry.
You alive, Harrison?
No, sir, he ain't.
Move him back with the others.
In the name of heaven, Captain, how could he be alive? Look at him.
Move him back, Harrison. Lieutenant Syberts is directing the grave detail. Now give him a hand.
We gonna bury them all?
It's the least we can do.
I can't do it, Captain Quince. I can't. I'm all hot and cold in my belly. I just can't look at any more of this.
You get a firm grip on that belly of yours, Harrison. This kind of cleanup's got to be done. Now don't look, don't think, just do your work.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'll do that.
I'm on my fifth, Captain.
All right, Hook.
Two of them was old ladies. I figured they was too old for travel anyways.
See, those graves are cairned.
The lieutenant's seeing to that, Captain. All I gotta do is dig 'em. Count 12 wagons burning. Them engines don't leave nothing to chance.
No, not much.
They shoot 'em full of arrows, full of lead, then hack 'em up. For good measure, they set fire to 'em.
Better get back to work, Hook.
You're a sight safer in the army than in one of them wagon trains, ain't you, Captain?
Sometimes, Hook. Sometimes.
Captain Quince.
Yeah?
Maybe you ought to speak to the lieutenant.
How's that?
He's fair carried away with all this burying stuff. I declare he'll be laying the dead stock to rest next, so as he can speak words over them.
That all, Hook?
But you ought to take a look, Captain. I think it's real touching.
Thinking's not any part of you, Hook, any more than feeling is. I don't want to see that spade of yours stop the next 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Captain Quince, over here.
This one's still alive.
You conscious?
I just come on him. I heard him.
Mister?
So, hundreds of so.
Must have read it from the south, Hazen. If it was so.
I gave the major that report. They've been building up to something for months now.
Mister, how many people in your train, mister? We counted 12 wagons.
We had 52. And they took...
Only 50 bodies, Captain. Lieutenant Syberts and I just took count.
You sure, Hazen?
No.
Yes, sir. 49 dead in this one.
No. Beasley. It took the Beasley Girls. It took...
Make that 50 dead, Hazen.
Yeah. You going after him?
With 20 men? No, we'll be another couple of hours here, and it'll still take us 3 more to get back to the fort.
Them girls, that's... Well, dying's easier, Captain.
You telling me something I don't know, Hazen? Yeah, I'll go after him when I stand a chance of getting him. Meantime, you pick up the trail.
Yes, sir. I ought to come on the Sioux camp before night. If I do, I'll make it back to the fort by daylight.
I'm going after him at sunup, whether you're back or not.
Suppose you had the company with you, then what?
We'd have finished our burying a little earlier, Major.
That's all?
That's all.
Captain, I have to make a report to Washington. I'd like to make it look as if the Army meant something out here. So far, I can tell him that a patrol of 20 men arrived in time to bury the members of an entire wagon train.
Would it make your report read any better if you told him a whole company arrived in time to bury him, Major?
I'm not interested in your impertinence, Captain.
I'm not interested in your report, sir.
All right. Look, I know you don't think much of paperwork, Lee. Reports to Washington, all this. But the point is, it all has to be done, whether you like it or not.
My point is, we'd have been just as late with 80 men as we were with 20. You'd still have to report 50 dead and 2 missing.
I don't like to think about those young women.
Somebody better think about them.
You've seen what... you know the savagery they're bound to endure. How soon can you leave, Captain?
At dawn, whether Hazen's back or not.
You sent him on ahead?
He's been scouting the Sioux territory for the last few months. If they've gone back south, we'll find them.
I suppose you'll want the company this time.
I'd want more than one company if I intended to go after him.
There's only one company available, Captain.
Major, I'd like to bargain with them.
Bargain? After a massacre like this?
Yes, sir, if we don't have the men to fight it out with them.
What kind of bargain?
Big elk. Big elk for the young women.
I don't know. He wasn't easily captured, Quince.
I know. I brought him in.
He's not doing us much good lying around the stockade. I suppose the Sioux consider him valuable enough to trade for him.
He's a chief.
What if Hazen isn't back by morning? If you expect to find those young women alive, you can't wait much longer.
We may pick Hazen up on the trail, but Big Elk can lead us to the camp.
Yeah, but Willie?
To get out of the stockade? Yeah, he'll lead us. He'll understand he's not free till he does.
You better talk to him, Quince. Report back to me tonight.
I'd like to leave at sunup, sir.
If we're satisfied that Big Elk's our best chance, you'll pass the head of your column through the main gates half an hour before reveille tomorrow morning.
Right, sir.
No good. You try to kill me, no.
Leave him be, Hook. He's nothing to you.
I just give him a drink. He asked for one, didn't he? Some firewater, huh?
You men be better off in your bunks.
Try kill me.
I will. I get the chance.
Something on your mind, Hook?
He's just tormenting him, Captain. Big Elk asked for a drink. Hook here gave him some bilge water. But it wouldn't have killed him.
Just made him good and sick like he makes me.
You're to leave him alone, Hook.
Hey, let them white women alone, Captain. Not one of them Injuns is leaving them be.
You're all hard, aren't you, Hook? Now get back to your quarters, all of you. We're going after the women before reveille.
That too ain't sounded yet, Captain.
What did you say, Trooper?
Nothing, sir. Come on.
Here you are. Here, you can drink this, Big Elk.
White man, no friend. Try kill me.
I could have killed you 2 months ago. I brought you here instead. Now go on, drink it. It's from my own canteen.
Good water. Good water. Put out fire in belly.
Your people still hold big camp on Lodgepole Creek?
Big Elk no see people many moon. For brother white man only. White man no brother Big Elk.
The hunting's still good along Lodgepole. Good grass, good water. Why would they move camp?
Not know.
If we let you go, Big Elk, you could find your people.
Big Elk, big coup for white man. White man no let Big Elk go.
Well, if you couldn't find your way back, no sense talking to you.
Hey, wait.
Why? You don't know where your people are.
Why you let Big Elk go?
A fair trade. You lead us to the Sioux camp. We'll trade you to your tribe for the white women they have.
No trade.
Your people don't think much of you, do they?
Big Elk hold high honor in tribe. All Sioux proud, warrior, hunter, leader, Big Elk.
Then why won't they trade?
White man no trade Big Elk for white woman.
That's just where you're wrong. White men go pretty high on their women folk.
Captain, you play trick?
No trick. You have my word.
No trick. Then Big Elk give word. We'll lead to Sioux camp.
You still put a lot of store in that captain of yours, Harrison? You still think he knows all there is that's right?
Captain Quince knows what he's about. You'll see he does.
Kind of gnaws at your innards, though, don't it? Him plain eating out of that Injun's hand.
You're just trying to rile me, Hook. And I ain't giving you the satisfaction.
Look at him, Harrison. The Injun pokes his head to the right, we move to the right. Same with the left. He'd poke his head straight up, your old Captain Quince. He'd have us climb in the air.
You'd best keep your face shut, Hook. I swear you keep at me, no telling what I'll do.
You'll do like you're told. No more. That captain would tell you to do anything at all. You'd bust yourself doing it. You're gonna grow up licking boots all the way?
I ain't snapping at your bait no more. You can talk all you like, I just ain't listening. I'm just riding along here, and I don't even know no dumb trooper named Hook.
Ain't just me talking, bootlicker. It don't set well with a single white man riding in this column being led around by no Injun. You giving any thought to them white women, Harrison? You ever seen one once the bunch of Injuns got through with her?
Well, we're doing a decent thing, ain't we? We're going after him.
No, we ain't. We're just out riding around, Harrison. Following an Injun wherever he means to take us. Like as not, he's leading us into an ambush right this minute.
I ain't listening to you again, Hook. Ain't hearing a word you say.
I tell you one thing, bootlicker. That's a dead Injun up there. He don't know it yet, but he's just as dead as he can be.
Men, we're about an hour from Bear Creek. There's still daylight enough to see us there. We'll bivouac there for the night.
Rider coming this way, sir.
I know, Syberts. I think it's Hazen, with word on the Sioux camp.
Not meaning to make your camp here, are you, Captain?
Oh, we're heading to Bear Creek for the night.
That's more like it. With water there, grass, natural camp. You just a day out of Fort Laramie?
Left the post just at sunup.
Made good time.
Well, Big Elk's picking the trail.
Good job. We're right on the line of the Sioux camp. We'll leave Bear Creek at sunup. You'll make it to Lodgepole Creek by mid-morning.
Fair enough.
You got reinforcements coming?
I'm riding in under a white flag. I plan to trade Big Elk for the white women.
Oh, might work. I got in awful close. Don't even think they got scouts out. Leastwise, I didn't see any.
Any sign of the women?
Not likely there would be. No, Captain, the Sioux were looking awful peaceful. For your sakes, I hope they are.
You sent for me, sir?
Yeah, sit down, Mr. Syberts.
Thank you, sir.
What's the talk among the men?
You know the men, Captain. Just camp talk.
Just camp talk.
That's all, sir.
Well, that's good. I had an idea maybe feeling was running a little high against Big Elk.
Well, it is. You know, men feeling the way they do about the Sioux capturing the white women, they're taking on with him a little.
What do you mean?
Well, joshing him, making threats, little things. Well, for example, he's half starving, I guess, and thirsty, of course.
So?
Well, they keep putting food and water just out of his reach.
And you stood there and let it happen, Mr. Syberts?
Well, sir...
Just camp talk, Mr. Syberts.
It's more my fault, Captain. You can't blame the men.
I can blame the men, and I can blame you. I gave my word.
Look out! He broke free! Picket! The engine's loose!
Hold your fire! Don't shoot, any of you! Hold your fire!
Watch it, Captain. He's coming your way.
I go. White man, they try to kill me.
Now, nobody's gonna kill you. Now, listen to me. I won't let anyone harm you.
Your word no mean much. White man no honor.
Quiet! Quiet, all of you! Quiet! Now, listen to me. And understand me. I don't know what's behind all this, but for your sakes, I'm going to put it down to your feeling for the captured white women. All right, quiet! We'll lay it to that for now. But I'm not forgetting what happened here. Now use your heads. Big Elk's our best chance to get those women out of the Sioux camp safely. Maybe our only chance. I gave him my word there'd be no tricks. The stockade's waiting for the next man who abuses him. Any questions? Harrison?
Yes, sir?
See that there's water and warm food for Big Elk.
Right away, sir.
Now, any of you get any ideas, I'll be waiting for you. That's all. Dismissed. All right, Big Elk.
Captain Quince. I'm sorry, sir. I should have stopped all that.
Any man could have stopped it, Mr. Syberts.
But being an officer and all, I should have.
The Army saw fit to make you an officer, Mr. Syberts. Being a man's entirely up to you.
I just didn't...
That's all, Mr. Syberts.
Now, camp of my people in valley below. Big Elk, keep word.
Big Elk, if I had a home like that, I'd never leave it.
Red men first here. Then white man come. With gun.
Yeah, I know. I'll take the flag, Mr. Syberts. You have your orders?
Yes, sir.
We'll ride in under your cover. There's to be no firing unless there's trouble. If I drop the white flag, that'll be your signal to open fire. Any questions?
No, sir.
Then pass the word. Big Elk and I are riding in.
Good luck, Captain.
You lead, Big Elk. No sign of your scouts yet.
My people expect no trouble.
There'll be no trouble.
Big Elk turned back on white men. Not safe. No trust.
I've kept my word, Big Elk. The rest is up to your chiefs.
No. Big Elk knows fear.
Oh, you're safe with me.
No. No, Big Elk, no trust. His
You crazy fool! Stop it! Stop! Stupid, murdering swine.
Save your filthy hides!
It was Hook shot him, sir, before anyone could stop him.
He'll rot in the stockade for this. Stand a horse! Stand a horse! Lieutenant Seiberts, move the company back immediately.
I know how you feel, Captain, but it's done. The man will be dealt with fully.
Major, it was the coldest kind of murder.
You're lucky you get out of there alive, especially you. Right now, I'm thinking about those white women.
I don't think there's a chance they're alive now. The Sioux will take this out on somebody, and they're handiest.
We can't think about that. We're going after those women this time with every man in our command.
With at least 1,000 Sioux at Lodgepole Creek?
We'll do our best, Captain.
If Gorse had been with me, I'd have seen the sense.
Sergeant Gorse was accompanying the first wagon train through.
I know that. It's my own stupidity.
Stupidity? Surely you're not blaming yourself.
For taking Hook on that patrol, you bet I am. I'm long enough in the Army to spot a troublemaker.
You're not thinking straight, Lee. I count on your judgment because it's cool and straight. You're no good to me in this turn of mine.
Major, my guts are crawling now. What do you want?
I want an officer with head enough to command Company B to engage the Sioux.
All right, sir. You got one. I'm all right.
Captain Matheson moved into the post yesterday with C Company. With Meade's infantry and howitzers, we should give you the cover you need.
I'm not used to this much support, Major. Might get lost in that crowd.
Your job is to get those women and get out. After your initial charge, the main fighting's up to C Company and the infantry.
Yes, sir. Get the women, bring them here.
And you'll stand by as reinforcements for Matheson and Meade.
Right.
Yes?
Major?
Come in.
Captain?
Hazen?
We're going to need your help, Hazen.
Well, there's a chance you can surprise him. They're on the move.
Which way?
North and to the west. Where's your map?
Right here.
Yeah. This was their main camp at Lodgepole.
Uh-huh.
Now, they moved along the valley where you were, Captain, along the stream and then up to Horse Creek there. Then branched up to Bear Creek near Iron Mountain right there.
We bivouacked there.
You were a little to the east, but no matter. They moved across the Chugwater along here, see? And followed along the Laramie Range there.
A whole lodgepole camp on the move?
All of them. But this is where I think you can get them. If it's still the Beasley Girls you're after.
They're our first objective.
All right. The warriors, the main force of the tribe, they're well up front, moving ahead. They're not expecting any trouble from the rear. And so that's where they got their squaws and old folks and young'uns.
Yeah, likely the Beasley women are back there with them.
It's a near cinch.
Where are they now, in your judgment?
The natural camp spot's about there, on the Laramie River. Moving slow like they got to along that range, they should make camp there tonight. If it was me, I wouldn't wait for sunup to move in.
He's right, Major.
Can you have B Company ready to move out by dusk?
I can.
Pass the word, Captain. Report back in half an hour. Matheson and Meade will be here. We'll lay out a full plan.
Right, sir. Mr. Seiberts?
Right here, Captain.
Men filed out in position?
Yes, sir. As ordered.
Harrison, move up.
Yes, sir.
Harrison, you'll flank me on the charge. We're going to bring those women out, you understand?
I sure do, sir.
Good.
Proud to.
Company!
Company!
At the tread! Ho!
We surprised them, Captain.
They're running for cover, sir.
We stampeded their horses. They gotta take cover.
Leeds infantry! We're covered, sir!
Yeah, Mr. Seibert. Keep at 'em. Harrison, over here, this way. The lodges, over here.
There's a squaw, Captain.
I'll get her.
No quiere squaw.
The white women, where are they?
No white woman. No quiere squaw.
Now, where are they?
Lodge. There. All safe. No quiere.
This way, Harrison.
Well, sir.
Harrison!
Captain Quince. It's them women. Them Beasley girls. Why, they can't be over 5, 6 years old. Either one of them.
I know. Come on, Harrison. Let's get these women out of here.
Fort Laramie is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars Raymond Burr as Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry. The script was specially written for Fort Laramie by Kathleen Height, with sound patterns by Bill James and Ray Kemper, musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Featured in the cast were Jack Moyles, Harry Bartell, Sam Edwards, Lawrence Dobkin, Lou Krugman, James Nusser, and Lillian Bayev.
Company, tension! Dismiss.
Next week, another transcribed story of the Northwest frontier and the troopers who fought under Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry. The groups which you support through Easter Seals duplicate the work of no other groups, yet there are more than 1,600 of them. These Easter Seal societies serve the many unmet needs of the crippled. This year, the national goal is $12 million. If your family has received a quota of seals in the mail, send your money in the return envelopes which came with the seals. Or if you wish to contribute directly, send your money to Crippled Children, care of your local post office. This has been a public service message from CBS Radio.
At the gallop! Ho!
Fort Laramie. Fort Laramie, starring Raymond Burr as Captain Lee Quince. Specially transcribed tales of the dark and tragic ground of the wild frontier. the saga of fighting men who rode the rim of empire, and the dramatic story of Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry.
Patrol! Halt! Sergeant Gorse, dismiss the patrol.
Yes, sir.
Prepare to dismount. Dismount.
Welcome back, Captain.
Thank you, Sergeant Jenkins. Major Daggett in?
He's been expecting you.
Come in. Oh, Lee. Glad you're back.
That makes both of us, Major.
Oh, you find anything?
No trouble. Some of the dog soldiers are restless, but so far, no Sioux have left treaty territory.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Except I've had a 10-day ride for nothing.
Well, it's no matter. We have to investigate every report. You know that.
I know.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you're back. But I'm not sure you'll be.
Why?
You're in time to welcome an old friend of yours.
Huh? Who?
His orders read Lieutenant R.C. Went.
Robbie?
That's right. Major Went.
He assigned here?
He's on the post already. Arrived an hour ago. He'll be reporting any minute. Want to stay and see him?
You want me to?
It's up to you. You'll have to face him sooner or later anyway, I suppose.
Major, he's an old friend. Nothing can change that.
You still feel that way?
Yep. Where will he be assigned?
C Company is short an officer. I thought...
Can I have him? You can transfer Hancock to C.
Why?
Maybe I can ease things a little.
What about yourself? You think he'll like serving under you? An officer who once served under him?
He'll do all right. He's a good officer.
Well, I can't say much for him now. 5 posts in 2 years, and he couldn't face it out at any of them. Now we're stuck with him. A drunkard, a troublemaker, and a coward. Coward of Antelope Meadows.
I'm not sure he deserves that reputation.
Court of inquiry that demoted him thought so.
They demoted him for poor judgment, not cowardice.
What would you call a man who ran away from a fight, left his commander and 200 men to be wiped out?
He was under attack himself.
He could have fought through to Bartlett and saved them.
Maybe and maybe not. He might only have added 100 more men to the list of dead. Instead, he tried to save his own command, and he succeeded. It was a difficult decision, but not necessarily bad judgment.
The Court of Inquiry said so.
The Court of Inquiry was in Washington. They went by the book. You know how different it can be out here, how hard a decision can be when you're under attack. Hindsight's always easy.
Why are we arguing?
Assign him to me.
All right. Be a good Samaritan if you have to. There he is. Come in.
Lieutenant Went reporting to Major Daggett as directed.
Yes, been expecting you, Went. I believe you know Captain Quince.
Hello, Robbie.
Captain?
It's been a long time since Virginia.
Yes. Sorry I didn't see you. I've developed a habit of speaking when I'm spoken to.
You're looking well.
Major, have you figured out a place for me?
I didn't try to figure a place for you, Went. You're just another officer here. You'll be put where you're needed. I've assigned you to B Company. That's Captain Quince here.
Very well.
You can report to the officer of the day at your convenience. You'll be placed on active duty as of 5 a.m. tomorrow. You'll take morning call.
Yes, sir.
We hope you'll have a pleasant tour at Laramie.
Do you, Major?
Went, I said you're just another officer here. That's the way you'll be treated. But I expect a cooperative attitude from you, like any other officer. A chip on that shoulder won't help.
Very good, Major. Am I dismissed?
Yes.
I'll come along if I may, Robbie, show you the place.
All right, Captain.
Oh, Lee.
Yes, sir?
One moment,
I'll be right with you, Robbie.
All right.
See what I mean? Liquored up, middle of the day. He's gonna be trouble.
He's gone through a lot, Major.
Sometimes I think you're a soft fool. I'm warning you, Lee. Don't try to fight his battles for him. Keep a tight hold on him.
Don't worry. I'll take you over by the quarters, Robbie. They're a little better than the ones we had in Virginia. You might like Laramie. It's a good post.
I've noticed a lot of women. More than I expected out here.
A lot of the men are married. It's safe enough here. It's good to see you, Robbie.
It is?
We had some good days in Virginia.
I was your commanding officer then.
You were a good one.
Now,
Robbie, there are plenty of gray-haired lieutenants in this army for one reason or another, but not many of them cry in their beer.
thank you, Captain, for reminding me.
Oh, you've got to give people a chance.
What about them giving me a chance?
Oh, you got to meet them halfway, Robbie.
Halfway.
Good morning, Captain Quince.
Oh, hello, Miss St. Cloud. May I present Lieutenant Went?
We don't need an introduction, Captain. Hello, Robbie.
Mrs. St. Cloud,
It's good to see you.
thank you.
I saw you earlier crossing the parade ground. What brings you to Laramie?
I'm to be stationed here.
I'm very glad.
Are you?
Of course. Captain, Robbie and I are old friends. You must come and visit me the first chance you get, Robbie.
Thank you.
Oh, here's Philip. You never met my husband, did you? Philip, this is Robbie Went.
Lieutenant St. Cloud,
How do you do?
He's to be stationed here.
That's too bad.
Philip.
You remember Lieutenant Yeager, don't you, Went? He was my best friend, my roommate at the point. I'm sure you must remember him because he died with Bartlett that day at Antelope Meadows.
Philip, don't.
Come along, Maud.
But, Philip.
what were you saying about a chance, Captain?
I'm sorry, Robbie. There's bound to be some feeling at first, but in time...
You're
why-
an optimist, Captain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll stop by the Sutlers. They can still sell liquor on this post, can't they?
You think that'll help?
It's the only help I need, Captain. Good day.
First platoon, all present accounted for. Second platoon, all present accounted for.
All prisoner accounted for, sir.
Yeah. Now, where are the orders?
In your pockets, sir.
In my...
Lieutenant, is anything wrong?
What do you mean, Sergeant?
I mean, are you all right? Are you feeling all right?
Of course I am. Now, where's the...
Here, sir. Shall I read them?
You?
Captain Quince sometimes has me read them, sir. I just thought...
You stop thinking, Sergeant.
Lieutenant...
I'm perfectly capable...
Morning, Lieutenant Went. Sergeant Gorse.
Sir?
What are you doing here, Quince? Don't you think I can take morning call by myself?
Of course, Lieutenant.
I'm perfectly all right. Absolutely all right.
I'm not so sure. I think you'd better go back to your quarters. I'll relieve you here.
Is that an order, Captain?
That's a suggestion.
All right.
Straighten up, man. You're in front of 100 enlisted men.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
I'll go with you.
I can...
It's a long walk across the parade ground. The men are watching. Just keep your shoulder into mine. Sergeant, you'll read the orders of the day.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Robbie. Here, keep this cold compress in your head.
Thanks.
Robbie, this is no good. You can't keep this up.
What?
Running away, hiding in a bottle.
You gonna report me?
Did you report me that time in Virginia? But it can't happen too often, you understand that.
I know.
Well,
Lee, thanks. You're the only one in 2 years that's been decent. I'm sorry if I can't come halfway.
maybe if you'd try to face it and not run away. Other men have been busted.
Oh, it's not that. No. Do you know what my second in command said after Antelope Meadows? He said we should all be dead, and we would have been if we hadn't been led by a coward.
You weren't a coward in Virginia, and when that court of inquiry demoted you, you didn't have to stay in the Army. You could have resigned.
Yes?
It took guts to stay. That wasn't the act of a coward.
I love the Army. It's my life. And I was mad. I thought I was right. I had the guts then.
Then what's happened?
Do you know what it's like to be sneered at? Hated wherever you go? To be blamed for other men's deaths? Like that St. Cloud yesterday. I've had 2 years of that, Lee. Maybe now I am a coward.
Not unless you're willing to be. If you... Come in. Oh, Miss St. Cloud.
Robbie, I heard you were ill.
Word gets around, doesn't it?
Are you all right?
All right.
You'll be fine, ma'am.
Is there anything I can do for you, Robbie?
Oh, no. Thanks.
Well, I'll stop in again this afternoon.
I am not so sure your husband would approve, Mrs. St. Cloud.
Robbie, if you won't or can't come to visit me, I'll come to visit you. Good day, Captain.
Ma'am? It seems you do have friends, Lieutenant.
You, Maud.
Well,
Lee. Was I wrong?
About what?
Antelope Meadows.
I don't know.
It tortures me, Lee.
You did what you thought was right. Now, right or wrong, you better forget it.
How can a man forget a thing like that?
I don't know, Robbie.
We'll need just a small detachment to patrol the line. We've had no further reports, but I want to keep watch. What about Syberts and 8 men, Lee?
Why not Went?
What's the matter? Want to get him away from the post?
No, it's not that. It might be what he needs.
I'm not sure I trust him with the patrol. You think you fooled me with that relieved of duty because of illness? He's just about drunk the sutlers dry.
He's getting better lately.
That's not what I hear. Maybe he's not drinking quite so much, but...
But what?
I've heard reports about him and Mrs. St. Cloud. They've been seeing each other entirely too much. She's been seen going into his quarters.
She tended him when he was ill.
And he's been at her rooms when St. Cloud was away.
They're old friends.
Maybe. But I always did think that woman was too pretty.
Major, I don't think there's anything wrong. But if there is, all the more reason to send Went out on that patrol.
You trust him?
He's a good officer. I'll send Gorse with him.
All right, Lee. I just hope you're right. Send Went to me for orders.
Right away, sir.
Captain. Captain.
What's the matter, Sergeant?
Over at Old Bedlam. There's going to be trouble.
What trouble?
The 2 lieutenants. St. Cloud's gone looking for Went.
Thanks. St. Cloud! Went! At ease! At ease! Now, what do you think you were doing? St. Cloud?
I heard what's been going on behind my back. It's all over the post. He can't get by fooling around with my wife. I'll
That's
kill him.
enough. That's a court-martial offense you're charging. You want to make it official?
I certainly...
And subject your wife to the embarrassment of it?
No.
All right.
No.
Went, you want to prefer charges against him?
No.
Then the 2 of you remember your officers in the U.S. Cavalry and act accordingly.
He better stay away from my wife.
You won't have to worry about that for a while. He's going out on patrol tonight. Now, get out of here, St. Cloud.
Lee.
I don't want to hear about it. It's none of my business.
But, Lee, there's
You got a job to do. As soon as you clean up, report to the major for your orders.
All right, Captain.
Captain?
Yes?
Captain, I
No
heard you.
harm done, Miss St. Cloud. Except to the dignity of a couple of officers.
It's my fault. I should have known Philip wouldn't understand. But I want you to understand, Captain.
Why me?
Because you're his friend, too.
All right.
I was only trying to help him. We're old friends, yes, but once it was more than that. Once, before I met Philip, it was going to be Robbie. I couldn't just stand by and see this happening to him.
I see.
Did I do wrong, Captain?
Who's to say that, Miss St. Cloud? I don't know.
I wish I were wiser.
So do I, ma'am. So do I.
Lee, this report just came in from the telegraph at Cheyenne.
Trouble, Major?
A Sioux raiding party attacked the railroad. If they're not still in the vicinity, they'll be heading north. Went's moving to intercept
Went?
them. Yeah, he stopped at Pine Bluff and got the news. But he'll need reinforcements. Might be a big party, we don't know. Besides, with Went in charge...
I can have B Company ready in an hour.
Oh, will that be enough? B's undermanned. You've only got 63 men.
It'll be enough.
All right. Rendezvous with Went at the Forks on Little Bear Creek. And Lee, don't take any chances. Carry 200 rounds per man. This could be a fight.
Captain, single rider approaching.
Yeah, I see him. Looks like Gorse. Keep him going, Mr. Syberts. I'll swing out and meet him.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant?
Captain, Lieutenant Went sent me to intercept you. He's moving towards Horse Creek. Wants you to cut across and meet him.
All right, good.
Sure glad you're here, Captain.
Why?
Well, we had them cornered last night, but they got away. We could have taken them.
How many?
Around 30.
9 men against 30?
We could have surprised him. Men are kind of talking some.
What are you trying to tell me, Gorse?
The lieutenant wouldn't attack. Or couldn't.
Had he been drinking?
Yes, sir.
Was he drunk, Sergeant?
Well, no, sir, I couldn't say that.
Then think about this, Sergeant. You men might not be alive today if he had attacked.
Yes, sir, I've heard that before.
It's still true, Sergeant. All right, let's join him.
There's their signal, Captain.
Here comes the lieutenant to meet us.
Company!
Company!
Hold! Lieutenant?
They're down in the valley about a mile ahead, Captain. You can surround them by splitting your force in 3.
Good. All right, Syberts, you take 20 men and the right flank.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Gorse, you'll take 12 more men and join with Lieutenant Went's patrol on the left flank.
Yes, sir.
The rest will stay with me in the center.
I'd like the center, Captain, if I may.
Why?
It's closer. It'll lead the attack. I found them.
All right, I'll take the left. Sergeant Jenkins, take over. I'll join you in a minute. Now, move out.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good work, Lieutenant. And you used good judgment, not attacking last night.
Did I? Here, Captain, have a drink.
Yeah, thanks.
Why'd you do that?
You don't need it. You've gotten your courage out of a bottle for so long, you think you have to have it.
Don't I?
No, you don't, Robbie. All right, Lieutenant Went. Move out.
Doesn't look like we'll get much fighting, sir.
No, Jenkins, we're pretty far away, but we'll block this end of the valley for them.
Yes, sir. There they go, sir.
All right. Company!
Company!
At the trot!
At the trot!
Ho! Syberts!
We got them rounded up, Captain. Wasn't much of a fight. When they saw us coming in from three sides, they just dropped everything and ran.
Good. Any casualties?
No, sir, I don't think so. Not a one.
Captain!
Huh?
Over here.
Casualties, sir. Lieutenant Wint.
Robbie?
Lee. I'm sorry you smashed that bottle now.
Gorse.
Holder's bringing the first aid, sir.
No. No use, Lee. No use, you know that.
Robbie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So am I. About a lot of things. Maud St. Cloud. A lot of things. But Lee, there's one thing I'm not sorry about.
Antelope Meadows?
Yeah. I was right, Lee. I couldn't have saved Bartlett. But I could save my 100 men, and I didn't.
That's right.
Oh, only one thing nobody understands. It wasn't my own life I was thinking about.
I understand that, Robbie.
Do you, Lee? Thanks. I wish...
Captain,
What is it, Sergeant?
I saw it, sir. He deliberately cut in front of Holder and took the only bullet the engines fired. He saved Holder's life. I guess I was wrong, sir.
Were you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. He was no coward.
No. No, he wasn't. Come in. Oh. Miss St. Cloud.
Captain? I've just been over to see. I won't be attending the services.
I understand.
Captain.
Yes?
Captain, did he say anything about me?
Yes, he did, Miss St. Cloud. He said he was sorry.
Not half as sorry as I am, Captain. I wanted to help him. But I was afraid to say the one thing that might have helped him most.
Sometimes it's kind of hard to...
I wanted to tell him that he was the only man I ever really loved. But I was afraid of the consequences. I should have told him, Captain. I should have told him a long time ago. Well, Philip will be wondering where I am. Good day, Captain.
Good day, Miss St. Clair.
Fort Laramie is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars Raymond Burr as Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry, with Vic Perrin as Sergeant Gorse. The script was specially written for Fort Laramie by John Dunkel, with sound patterns by Bill James and Ray Kemper. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Jack Moyles, Harry Bartell, Lynn Allen, Paul Duboff, and Clayton Post.
Company, tension! Dismiss!
Next week, another transcribed story of the Northwest frontier and the troopers who fought under Lee Quince, Captain of Cavalry. The news that makes headlines knows no time or place. News can be made next door or halfway around the world, at noon, at midnight, or in this next minute. To keep you fully informed, CBS News has reporters on 24-hour duty all around the world. By the magic of radio, their reports come to the CBS newsroom to be transmitted to you. Right now, every Saturday and Sunday, CBS News reports to you almost every hour during the day and evening. By keeping your dial set at CBS Radio, you know the news from halfway around the world as soon as you get the news from next door.